Do you live in the US and want fast, fresh and tasty meals without the hassle of shopping or all that hard work preparation? Well, don't you worry, as a lazy man, I've got you covered. Try America's #1 meal kit service, HelloFresh, and get yourself fresh, pre-portioned ingredients delivered direct to your door. So why not eat well, stay healthy, and avoid the cost of regular takeout by trying HelloFresh? Just click the link in the description below for a special limited time discount and free shipping as well. Enjoy. Well, I've spent a whole day putting this recording off now. It is 2 final games in our first Premier League season with Crystal Palace. The outcome will determine whether we survive and look ahead to the future with optimism, or get relegated and sacked. Because if we fail our objectives and go down with a very good points total, by the way, I don't see how we come back from it. Yes, hello and welcome along to a nail-biting part 75 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. We are back today on 37 points with 2 games left to go, and remarkably, we are nowhere near safe. There are 2 points separating 4 sides from 15th to 18th place, and depending on the outcome of these 2 matches against top half opposition, we could be relegated and possibly jobless come the end of this episode. If you want to find out if we are, or whether we can survive and start looking forward, then please do put a thumbs up on it. But let's go and have a look at the schedule, because we've played a couple of games off camera and they've largely gone as you expected. We beat Leicester by 3-2 after those really dull games in the last episode. We found our attacking form, but of course we had to make a late scare. 2 goals conceded in the last 10 minutes and we just about clung on. It was Couto, Tony and Davis with our goals. And then against Spurs, I thought after 5 minutes, my word, we've done this. We were 2-0 up with Vaknin and Ribeiro scoring the early goals, but then somehow by half-time, we were 4-2 down, and I'd just run out of words. A Rooney hat-trick, and of course a couple of others added to it as well. And we lost 5-2, which also harms our goal difference ahead of these 2 big games. Now the positives are, if we go and look at the table, it's in our hands. We can control our destiny. We've got a game in hand against Wolves here because we're playing on a Sunday. If we win it, we will be safe with a game to go. I'm not sure that's going to happen, quite frankly. If not, it's going to the final day against Villa, and at that point, it's anyone's game. So if we go back to when we were last here, we played against Leicester and won by 3-2, which looked great. Norwich also lost the same day. Brentford were held. A couple of other sides struggled as well. Of course, we beat Leicester. But then after that, you go to Saturday the 3rd of May last weekend. Leicester got a point against Bournemouth. Norwich got a point away to Burnley. Brentford won 2-0 at Leeds, and we were right back in trouble. We then lost, of course, to Tottenham Hotspur. And then in the midweek, we had a few games. But this Saturday, we have been done a bit of a favour. Brentford lost at home to bottom side Burnley, which is big pressure situation that. And Norwich did the same at home to mid-table Southampton. The club from our blog save helping us out there. So now we've got to talk about 2 big games. Doesn't matter what everyone else does. If we go and win this match, it is no problem at all. But that is easier said than done. It's a top half side with good players. A lot of originals still there as well, 8 years in. But they had a fairly young side, didn't they? So let's go and see what our strongest 11 is. Our final game in front of the Selhurst crowd. Nicolau came in for the last game due to injuries. And of course, he was on the end of an absolute hiding in a 5-2 defeat. And we have struggled with injuries a little bit here. It's got to be fairly said. We've had different knocks at different times. We've struggled to keep everyone fit. And defensively, as a result, we've now been all over the place. Richard's one of those out. We've also lost our first choice right back in Couto. So it's Mustafa and Nicolau who are in again. I'm going to stick with it. It's the same 11. It largely did well against Leicester. It started well against Spurs. We're at home to Wolves. We've got 6 points up for grabs. And we've got to try and get 3 of them. We get to the 40-point mark, we know we're going to be safe. Let's go and get into the first of these and hope we can do it with a little bit of room to spare. Well then, talking of Southampton, Kyle Walker-Peters, one of our players from that save, is on the bench today for Wolves. They've still got Nathan Collins, who is now skipper. Bilal in goal is a good player. Nunes still there, as is Fabio Silva, joined by Gabriel Barbosa too. Angerin, we managed last year in the head coach as well. We know he's a good player. If we look at our team, we know what to expect. Not as many changes, which I hope will help, But let's go and show the world we've got what it takes. A big game, a moment that makes you, and if we survive after this one, we can relax on the final day and plan for our job next year. If not, we could be in big, big trouble and rebuilding in the Championship again. Let's go and get into the first half. Crystal Palace versus Wolves. It's been a mixed bag of form. I don't know what to predict. We are an unpredictable side. We are not likely to blow a team away. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be tense. As Mustafa gets the ball on the right with a throw to Ribeiro. Quick start again. We had that at Spurs. Doesn't mean much these days. Otavio goes for the big clearance. Mustafa should get there. Hooks it down the line. No risk taken. Ribeiro loses it with a poor control. Lawrence inside to Angerim. Through to Fabio Silva. Oh, it nearly happens again. 5th minute. They get in behind so easily. Nicolau completely lost the man over his shoulder. But it's wide at the post. And now we're at the other end with Ribeiro. Back to Mustafa. Into Pasalic. He's the playmaker we're relying on. Can he unlock that door? Finds Nicolau at the back. He goes wide to the left to Kelleher. But again, we're being forced backwards. It's not the best passing. And we don't really look confident. No, Pasalic up towards Davis. Poor header away to Vaknin. And Guy Vaknin puts it in. Reliable finisher is back from injury. And he has scored the opening goal. 7 minutes in. I'm not getting excited. We've seen how many goals we've conceded the last two. As Kelleher's got a throw on the left. Can we get another? No, Mitran loses the ball straight away. Wolves coming back at us. We like conceding straight after we've scored. One of our favourites this year again. As Pulido gets it for Pasalic. There's two over the top. Castro through. Ribeiro's in. Got to score. Oh, he's missed it. Nowhere near the target. How on earth have you put that far wide? It's a great opportunity for Ribeiro. And it goes wide of the post. 20 minutes gone. We stay 1-0 up. But that should have been 2. There's no doubt in that. To be fair, with 5 to half time, it is looking remarkably comfortable at the minute. And as soon as I say that, we're back with a Wolves attack. Fabio Silva gets it to Nunes and Collins, inside to his centre-half partner. Up towards Sotil on the left. Good challenge, Mustafa. But there's no one backing up. Why isn't Ribeiro working? Mustafa's out of shape. Lawrence gets it into Gabby. Do not give away a penalty. It's got to be offside. Referee, get to VAR. It looked off comfortably. Please let it be off, because I can't cope if not. We have got to be done a favour here. Gillet's going to VAR. Oh, it's awarded. Oh, it's 1-1. In a half where Wolves have offered nothing. The man that Nicolau was marking, and he's 5 yards clear of him. It is absolutely shocking defending. I cannot wait to get rid of him, honestly. We need new signings next summer. We need some of those youth players promoted. And most importantly, some of this experienced dross has got to leave the club. There's nearly an hour on the clock. It's still 1-1. It's a point towards progress. It gets us in the box seat, but it's not enough at the moment. And it's a corner kick to Wolves. We know what we're like from these. Kelleher away to Ribeiro. Now can we counter? We've got players up. We've got support. Davis is one of them to Vaknin. Back to Pasalic. Man over on the left is Mitran. Releases him. 2 in the middle. Mitran takes on the fullback. Cross towards Vaknin is wildly overhit. Lawrence heads away to Ribeiro. He puts into Vaknin again. And that's a great little touch. Beat his man at the near post. Flicked it on. And Nunes could do nothing but stick out a leg. Brings him down. VAR will check. Got to be a penalty kick. It is. Who's going to take it? Of course, this guy Vaknin. He's actually got a better success rate than Tony, despite being far worse on the attribute. And he's in goal scoring form, but it doesn't matter. Every single thing is turning against us. We're missing penalties in every big game. And it's telling you about the personality of the squad. We've not got big game players. Tony in the FA Cup semi-final. Vaknin in this one, as Mitran puts the cross in. We can't complain if we don't win this now. We've had ample opportunity. And with 20 to go, it is still level. And we really should be out of sight. Let's go and make changes. Malaki will come on at right back. We've not really got anyone who's happy to come on. Tom Davis off for Morgan Gibbs-White. Slightly more aggressive option there. I'm actually going to bring Grom back on in that position as well for Pasalic. We'll swap those two round. Not sure which way round they're better. I think we're going to stick with that. And then Mitran off on the left for Lodi. We made that sub quite a lot. We should be ahead. We've wasted so many chances. But now it is crucial that we don't lose this game. Do not put yourself back within a point. If we can get 2 points clear, it means there's 3 or 4 teams between us. And for that to go wrong, every single team has got to get a good result. So we're putting ourselves in a box seat. But how long for? Ribeiro's knackered on the right. I've not really got an option other than Hollis. And I'm not a big fan of it. Do you know what? I'm going to chuck Tony on. I'll put Vaknin out to the right wing. Not what we usually do. I don't think Vaknin's played there all year. but it's a chance to nick one as Rajkovic goes long. Gives us a bit of a focal point up there. Lodi chases. Moreira brings it down. Do not let them nick it. Please do not let them nick this game. Moreira down the right-hand side. Chance to cross. Flying challenge. No idea why. Kelleher heads the ball away. Tony holds up. Has support. Goes for the big switch to Vaknin, who finds Grombach. Second to everything. Attack the ball, man. Castro wins it back. He's played really well in there. And it's out to Grombach, who's lost it again. What the hell is wrong with you? Put a challenge in, will ya? Through ball into Hogg. He's going to score. Good save, Rajkovic. Grombach, pull your finger out. Seriously, man. We've got no one we can chuck in there. It's so frustrating. The chances that we give away and the amount we get caught on the ball. It's all of these players who are a bit too comfortable at the club. We draw 1-1. We should have scored the penalty. If we had, we'd be safe. But now it's going to the final day. It's going to be nervy, but we are 2 points clear. So we should be in the box seat here. Let's go and skip ahead to the final day of the Premier League season. We'll of course see all the permutations and what will send us down. But hopefully it's not going to happen now. Fingers crossed Chris Richards is fit, because I can't do another game of Nicolau either. Back for the final day of the Premier League season, and I feel a little bit better now because I've looked at the permutations, and if we look at the fixtures for today, I think we're all but safe already. Let me show you why. So there's basically a 4-team battle going on here, isn't there? We're 2 points separated between us, Leicester, Norwich and Brentford. Now, Leicester are at home to Norwich, which is where the key bit comes here. Because neither of them can pick up points together other than one each. So if it's a draw, Norwich can't go above us. If Leicester win, Norwich can't go above us. If Norwich win, Leicester can't go above us unless we lose by 7 or 8, which hopefully we're not going to do. So I think, bar goal difference, we are safe already. And hopefully that draw against Wolves was actually enough for us. So fingers crossed we will be in the division next year. I think we're safe. Am I right in the comments? Let me know. Brentford obviously can pick up 3 against Liverpool, albeit that's a tricky game. And they're neck and neck as well. Look at the top. Liverpool and City, goal difference separating them for the title. I think we are safe because of the Leicester-Norwich match. All we've got to do is avoid losing by 8 goals. And if that's the case, we will be absolutely fine. So let's go and get through to the fixtures. Are either of our first choice defenders back fit? That's the first question. Chris Richards is not quite, and Couto is nowhere near. So that's enough of a problem. If we have a look at the starting 11, I think we're going to stick with largely the same, because Nicolau, bar the mistake for the goal, played all right. I know, funny, he made the mistake for the goal still. Malake at right back is an option, but I think we're going to stick with the one who's been here longer and played a few more games for the club. And as a result of that, with us all but safe and just needing to avoid an absolute hammering, I'm going to stick with exactly the same team. So let's go and see if we can get a result, and more importantly, if we can ensure survival. Well, a very interesting Aston Villa team. Cons are on the bench, one of the originals, as is Matty Cash actually. But if you look in the starting 11, Dane Scarlett, the former Tottenham young striker. They've also got Calvin Bassey at left back and Dennis Sirkin seemingly at centre half. But it's a decent team. It's going to be hard work, this. Let's just make sure we keep things tight for now. We don't need to go aggressive. We don't need to try and attack. We just need to stay in this game. Into kick-off at Villa Park. Hopefully, it's almost job done. Of course, the best thing for us today, so we don't have to worry about Leicester at all, would be if they just go and beat Norwich, because then Norwich will finish below us. Or if Liverpool can get a couple of early ones against Brentford. They're, of course, chasing a title. That doesn't hurt, though. We've got an early goal through Guy Vaknin. Mitram released down the left, puts in a pretty poor ball in truth. But in the end, Vaknin gets on the end of it, puts it in the bottom corner. And that is going to help the goal difference plight. Brentford are beating Liverpool. That is unexpected today and is a bit of a problem for the start. But given the way that Aston Villa are playing, we might be all right. Albeit we've had an injury immediately. I'm going to bring on Lodi. I don't want to change the shape and have an inverted winger or anything like that. We saw where the goal came from, natural width. Let's stick with it. Leicester Norwich still 0-0. Brentford still 1-up. But crucially, we have got the lead. And with our better goal difference, which, again, I'm going to take some credit for. You slate me in the comments as that's a red card. Aston Villa have gone off the rails. They want Crystal Palace to stay up. Off you go. Matty Cash is on. And we are 1-up and a man up. This is a very good sign. But as I was mentioning, I took a lot of criticism for our defensive style for being cautious. But it is our goal difference that's kept us up with a game to spare, basically. As Kelleher goes back to Rajkovic and Mustafa. Awful clearance. Come on, we're playing 10 now. Don't give away a silly goal. Through ball to Scarlett. Oh my God. We've managed to do it. We're going to VAR. I have no idea what for. Defenders appealing for offside. There was no one even close to off, was there? Was it earlier in the move? It must have been, because the goal's disallowed. Scarlett is offside. I'm not sure he was, but I'm not going to complain. 1-0 up at half-time. Leicester Norwich still goalless. Brentford shocking Liverpool. With us a goal up and a man up. I would be upset if we lost this game. And if we don't lose it, we're safe regardless. As Victor puts in a Villa corner to the back post. Ribeiro loses in the air. How have we looked worse against 10 men than we did against 11? Ribeiro again getting caught. And it goes back to what I mentioned. We've not got the height or the physicality to deal with set pieces. We drop back down to 39 points. We do stay in 15th. Liverpool have equalised against Brentford. And Leicester have got the lead against Norwich. So safety is almost secure as Bassi gets it wide to Sirkin. It's a little bit of a weird one really, because Leicester scoring means we're going to finish a position lower. But it also means we're guaranteed not to go down as Nicolau gets it away to Lodi. He brings it in the centre circle. Time on the ball. Can we create that winner? We've got the extra man. It doesn't look like it the way we're being pressed. But here goes Ribeiro trying to make up for his mistake. Puts in Guy Vaknin. And just past the hour mark, we take the lead again. I'm now going to go and make changes because both centre mids are on a yellow. Mustafa's playing poorly too. And I don't want to give the ref a chance to even this up. So I'm going to go for Joey Keating and Morgan Gibbs-White. They're the two that don't look nervous. And Grombach was shocking last time. So let's bring on those three. We've got one sub remaining, but crucially we're 2-1 up. Let's see how that affects the scores, because as it stands, we are back up to 15th. Brentford still drawing, Leicester still winning, and with 20 to go, I think we can party now. Things are looking good for Crystal Palace, and although we've taken it to the wire, we have done our job. And as it stands, we'll be on more than 40 points, which would be a great effort. Castro gives it back to Pulido. He goes to Keating and Malake. Through ball to Vaknin. In he goes. Makes a mistake, the defender. Is cleared off the line. And these are the players you're going to be seeing more of next year as we regenerate the squad. Young Malake, young Mustafa. They're the ones that are going to get to step up here as Lodi nicks it high up the pitch for Vaknin. Joey Keating into Renan Lodi. And I think he was offside. If not, it is safety secured. And it's a win secured on the final day. Checking goal review. Disallowed. Stays 2-1. Let's go and make the final change. Who can we bring off? Nicolau has again had an absolute stinker. And we're back with a highlight straight away. Pulido winning the ball back. Here comes Malaki down the right-hand side. Finds Ribeiro. He turns his man back to the right back. And Pulido again. Brings it out to Castro. Better football. More composed on it. Out to Kelleher. There should be space now. We're playing against 10. Just pick them off. Wait for the chance. Kelleher to Lodi again. He's probably going to be off in the summer, but has done his job this year. Cuts in from the left towards Castro. Finds Keating. Vaknin's offside. It will be disallowed, but it's wide anyway. Shocking effort. Thankfully, it doesn't matter. We're going to make a last sub. Who can we bring on? We've got Hollis, Grombach. We've got a few attacking options. I'm not sure which one is best. I think we'll do the same sub as last game. Ribeiro off. Vaknin to the right. And up front, Ivan Toney. Just freshens it up. Doesn't change the defensive options too much. Although, in fact, let's not do that. Because we've got a nervous Nicolau at the back who made a game-changing error last time. So Zach Williams will come on for him. He is experienced at the club. He's a well-renowned player here. With a few minutes to go, Brentford are now getting battered. Norwich are now getting battered too. And we have won away at Aston Villa. Thank you for the red card. And of course, to Crystal Palace, thank you for Guy Vaknin. That signing from Dougie Freedman is the one that kept us up. So let's go and get to the end of season review, where we can prepare for another Premier League season in charge. Well, you've got to say, it is really funny how FM defines certain things, isn't it? We finished 15th in the Premier League and the board have said they're pleased we stayed clear of a relegation battle. Now, I don't know about you. In the last 8 games, we had not been more than 2 points clear of the relegation zone until right at the finish there. So I'm not sure we've avoided a battle. But if you go all the way back to Peterborough Sports, where we were sacked because we didn't avoid a relegation battle, we were safe there with 5 games to go and 12 points clear. But just because we were a position closer, it was deemed that we were in the battle. So maybe that's something that needs to be chalked up on the realism front. Money into the club, Mitran's injury, it won't keep him out for pre-season. So let's go and get to the season review and polish off our first Premier League season. Here it is then, the end of season review. There's no trophy there, but we deserve one for this. The side that were favourites for relegation, the second year up in the Premier League, not much investment, and we've managed to keep them up here. A really good summer overall. Pulido joined the club. He was one of the star signings at the back. Castro was great. Malaki will be good in the future, but Guy Vaknin was the man. Scored over 1 in 2. Don't know how his average rating's so poor, to be fair. I mean, I guess the games he didn't feature in, he really didn't play in at all. Kelleher did alright at a slow start, but picked up towards the end. But next season, hopefully, we will be a little bit better. The squad's got to get younger, and it's got to progress. But with the transfer budget we've just been given, I'll show you in a minute, I'm not sure what Dougie's going to be able to do. 15th place, 5 points clear. It looks far more comfortable than it was. Remember that start to the season? No win in the first 6, and towards the end, we really struggled as well. A few horrible runs, but we got there in the end. The semi-final in the FA Cup was a nice little bonus. The League Cup, we went out to Forest, of course. Moments to remember. The biggest win was our first one at home to West Ham. Match to remember, a 1-1 at Wolves back in September. I can honestly tell you I don't remember it. And goal of the season was Gibbs White in a 2-1 win in the FA Cup. Sponsorship is up. Corporate prize money, all of that stuff as well. The broadcast revenue similar. The club reputation is the same. And Guy Vaknin is the top shirt seller at the club. Well done, Dougie Freedman. You have bought in a superstar. Let's see the best lineup. They're still going for the back 3 there. We'll come back to that later in the year. Fans player of the season was Rajkovic. What have those guys been smoking in the stands, honestly? Young player of the season, Castro. Goal of the season, Gibbs White. Who's signing of the season, does it say? There's not one there, is there? Guy Vaknin, top scorer. Kuto, most assists. Most player of the match, Ivan Toney, which is interesting. I guess Rajkovic got player on the year purely on average rating. But let's go through the timeline. It is our first season as a Premier League manager. And after all of the heartbreak, all of the difficult years, we've had another one. But crucially, we managed to survive. Our 400th match in charge was a 1-0 defeat against Manchester United. And Chris Lewis, who is coming back from his loan this summer, he was nominated for the Next Gen Award, one of the best youngsters in world football. And with some of the other stars we've got, and being a striker as well, maybe we can be a bit more aggressive next year. Let's finish off though, and I will finish by showing you the budgets. It's not great. It's not Premier League level. When this club is bringing in 80-90 million a year, the transfer budget is less than 30. The wage budget gives us about 70 grand spare. Let's be honest, if we're talking about a very good Premier League player, it's one signing. So we're going to have to work really hard this summer. Dougie Freedman has got a lot of work to do. There's so many older heads in this side. There's 3 or 4 out of contract. Odysseus, Holding, Pasalic, 3 of them. There's a few others that are wanting to go out on the transfer list. And even if you look at the general info and the average ages, we've got so many past their prime and a few little youngsters now, but no one really in their peak. So I'd imagine there's going to be a lot of moving on. I'm expecting a blockbuster transfer special, but crucially, we've kept our job and we will get to see the other side of it. If you're looking forward to it and you did enjoy our first Premier League season, enjoy is probably a strong word, but if you admired the effort at least, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments what you think of the year overall. I think we've done really well to stay up, but this summer, without a big overhaul, it's going to be another difficult year to come. If you want to stay up to date and find out what Dougie does, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We will be back in a couple of days' time with a big summer transfer special here at Palace. Will we get a job offer elsewhere? I highly doubt it at this point. In the meantime, we will be back tomorrow with my favourite competition in our Build a Nation save. You can check that playlist out in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel, the blog story, and of course the football podcast too. But a massive thank you for watching. If you're in the US, check out the HelloFresh link in the description below. Gets you loads of money off and helps support the channel. And I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time for Dougie Freedman's Summer Transfer Special.